So we've moved down into the cellar. We're in an aging room, the barrel room. Can you tell us what's in all these barrels?
This is actually our underground barrel room where we store all of our Sonoma County Chardonnay, and we actually are pumping out right now because it's the time of the year where we're pumping out and getting ready to blend for bottling in the summer. So, looking forward to it because the 2013 Chardonnays are beautiful. So
I've got two questions now. I think a lot of people would be very interested in understanding the cycle of the year.
Okay.
So you just mentioned that you've been bottling in the summer. So can you talk just briefly about what happens to wine over the course of 12 months?
The type of wine. But for Chardonnay, we bring in the fruit in like August and September. We ferment it, usually goes through and finishes primary fermentation, which is alcoholic fermentation, and malolactic fermentation, and it takes about a month to go through all of that. Then we barrel age the Chardonnay for about 10 months, and then we stir the lees every 2 weeks. And then we, at this time, which would be about 10 months after harvest, we would pump it out of barrel into tank, and we get ready for bottling. So everything will be empty for the next coming harvest. All the barrels will be empty, we'll use them again, and we'll go into that next cycle.
So it's just a never-ending cycle.
Yes.
And 2013, can you talk a little bit about the vintage 2013?
It was, to me, one of my favorite vintages. I think that it was just, we had wonderful sunlight and warm temperature. We had beautiful degree days. We got our sunplex into the canopies, into the fruiting zone, to where you had riper flavors. The Sauvignon Blancs are riper, the Pinot Grigio, the Chardonnay. You just have beautiful flavors that came across in vintage.
And are we going to be trying some of them right now?
Yes, we have today our 2013 Pinot Grigio, which is mainly Russian River Valley fruit. And this is what we try to do on our Pinot Grigio is, Don Juans are Italian, so what we try to do is try to make Pinot Grigio that really captures the essence of Pinot Grigio fruit. We don't put any oak on the Pinot Grigio, and there's no malolactic on the Pinot Grigio. So it's really preserving the brightness and the freshness of the Pinot Grigio fruit. So,
and for those people who are not familiar with what malolactic is?
It's bacteria converting malic acid to lactic acid, which malic acid is an acid that's really found in apples. It's that tartar, sharper acid, where lactic acid is a little bit more softer, creamier, and it's found in milk and cheeses.
Fantastic. So where does the fruit for this Pinot Grigio come from?
We have vineyards in the Russian River Valley, and it's actually, it's a wine that is actually made with red grapes. So we pick it very cold in the morning.
Just people are going to be like, what? Wait. Pinot Grigio grapes, Pinot Gray. They can be pink to actually very red-looking grapes, and that's what all Pinot Grigio is made from.
Yeah. They almost look like a Pinot Noir, a very light-skinned Pinot Noir. So we have to be very careful when we bring in the fruit. It has to be cold, and you have to gently press it so you don't get too much color and astringency from the skins. So we bring it in nice and cold. We cold settle the juice for about 24 hours, rack it off of the lees, the juice lees, and then we start tank fermenting.
So cold settle, we're just going to go through all the terms.
Cold settle.
People are not sure what that means.
Okay, cold settling is when you bring in the juice, and when you press and when you bring in juice, it tends to be like unfiltered apple juice. It's kind of cloudy and stuff. And so when you go to ferment, you want it nice and clean and clear, otherwise it gets a little funky and stuff. So it's really nice to settle the juice and have nice, clean juice to ferment.
And the lees.
And the lees.
You said lees. Explain what lees are.
Juice lees are just the solids that will fall to the bottom of the tank. So take that off of that solids, and you have nice, clean juice. You add your yeast and a little bit of nutrients, and then you ferment. And we usually ferment this Pinot Grigio pretty cool, nice and cold, like a Brix a day. Nice, long, cold fermentations, trying to maintain all those volatile esters and all the chemicals and nice aromas.
So it makes it smell good. So when you ferment wine at high temperatures, you burn off a lot of those fruity esters, and wine smell different. And if you ferment at cold temperatures, and 1 Brix a day means very slowly, you're trying to preserve all the freshness and the fruitiness in the wine. That's why we call them winemaker lessons.